This is an example of a portfolio which will be your final culminating assessment and will replace an exam for our career studies course. In the portfolio, you are asked to choose 5 pieces of work that you created for this course. Doesn't have to be only the ones that you submitted to the Dropbox, could be some of the activities that you did not submit, and use them in a portfolio. You're required to have a table of contents where I've outlined that I'll have an introduction. Next, you'll see my 5 samples of work, each with a reflection that will follow the sample of work, on outlining a future goal as well as a conclusion. I go to my introduction. I very briefly stated my portfolio is organized around the 5 pieces of work that I felt best represent what I learned in my career studies course. These pieces reflect what I have learned and the direction I want to go with my career. And the pieces I chose to include are as follows. For the purposes of this example, I only wrote down 3. Your portfolio, you will be required to include 5 pieces. Next is my me brochure. So I didn't actually create a me brochure. I included a few images that would represent some of the components that were required in the me brochure. You can certainly take a picture of your me brochure or a screenshot and include it in a PowerPoint like this before you actually do your reflection. You can do that for all your pieces of work, or you can include something that represents that piece of work. So a picture of a resume if you don't want to include your full resume, for example. After you have your evidence, then you want to include your reflection. So in your reflection, you want to answer these questions. I chose to include the me brochure in my portfolio because the knowledge and skills I used to create this brochure was. I may need to apply these skills again when by creating this brochure, I learned that. In my opinion, this assignment helped me with career planning by. This assignment helped me decide on my future career by. If I had to redo this assignment, I would. What would you do differently? These questions can be found in the content portion of our final assessment. These are just an example of how you would begin your sentence when you talk about these questions. After you use your 5 pieces as well as your 5 reflections, then you're going to want to talk about a future goal. So here, what I'm asking you to write about is outline your future career goals and include a few strategies that you will use to help you achieve those goals. So, for example, if you want to become an accountant, some of the strategies that you would include is maybe go to a co-op where you can work in an accounting firm and see what they actually do, and go for a day-to-day work experience in an accounting firm. So that would be a strategy you could use. After you talk about your future goals, I'm asking you to write a brief conclusion. Here I'm asking you to write about the main thing you've learned from this course and how it will affect your career planning. So if you learned that you really enjoy working outdoors, then perhaps you're going to look to plan a career that allows you to be outside as much as possible. So here again, just a brief conclusion. So this is an example of how you might create your portfolio. It doesn't only have to be in PowerPoint or in Word. You could also do it in something like Prezi, or create it in a video style. It's up to you. You can email me with any questions. I hope this helped. Good luck with your final assessment.